Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm your host Dr. Nick and welcome back to the 90s Guy channel. By the title of the video, you can already tell what I'm going to be talking about today, and the subject is physical media dying or is it already dead? You know, a lot of people's opinions can differ on this with all the digital download codes, the way that you can buy stuff off of virtual marketplaces. Are things that we, once purchased on a regular basis, are they dead? And today, I wanted to talk about, physical media. Things like cassette tapes, CDs, Blu-rays, DVDs, and video games. Now, video games is an interesting topic within itself because they're saying percentage-wise more and more people are purchasing non-actual physical copies of games. They're buying it either on the Xbox store, the PlayStation store, getting a digital code, directly from GameStop when they pre-order it. They're no longer buying physical copies of games. Me, I like buying the physical copy. I like having the actual case, cover art, manual, the actual physical disc. As you can see here, my DVD and Blu-ray collection, I like having the actual physical, item. I like the way it looks on a shelf. I like the artwork. I like being able to physically hold it in my hand. Now, a lot of people, say, oh, well, I don't have the space for it. That's fine. If physical is the way to go for you, great. Things like Blu-ray. Blu-ray is, pretty close to replacing DVDs as a form of, media for movies. But then again, you also have 4K, and 4K is eventually going to replace Blu-ray. And, CDs, of course, CDs and cassette tapes with the rise of popularity of iTunes and Spotify and all these other, downloadable content. Is there really a need for CDs and cassettes anymore? Is this something that eventually we're not going to see in stores? I mean, obviously we don't see these in stores anymore, unless you go to like thrift stores or something. But these, Meijer is, basically phased them out. Best Buy is pretty much close to phasing them out altogether too. You could still get the physical copy off of Amazon, but even on Amazon, you can download the actual album on, downloadable content. You can download it off iTunes, and, there's so many other ways that, there's no need for it anymore. So with the rise of popularity of digital content, a lot of people are saying there's not going to be any physical content anymore. With the Xbox One S, with the option of being able to buy a console that you no longer have to put a disc in, it's all digital content. Like I said, I like having the physical copy. A lot of it, to me, if there was an actual, bonus to getting the digital copy, like if it was less, that would make sense to me. If you were buying the digital copy of, let's say, the new Call of Duty that's coming out, let's say it was $20 less, $10 less, something like that. An incentive to give to people to not actually buy the physical copy, to download it day one or even a couple days before. Something that would actually create some reason as to why they would want me to buy it digitally versus actual physically. I don't see a reason. There's no price difference. There's no bonus of any kind. It's not like I'm getting any type of a deal out of it. So, I mean, it's all about opinion, how much space you have. You can bring it on the go. If you have it digitally, you can have, a bunch of things on a hard drive. But what happens when something goes wrong with the hard drive? Or here's another thing. Let's say the internet's down. How are you supposed to watch those movies that you have digitally? Unless you have, just like through the 4G LTE network, if the internet's down for any reason, you can't watch anything. Having these physical copies of something, you take it off the shelf, put it in the player, you're ready to go. So, growing up in the I was born in 85, growing up in the early 90s, we had to actually physically go to the store to buy these things, to buy CDs, to buy cassette tapes, to buy DVDs. And DVDs were expensive when they first came out, too. These were, I think, my first DVD I ever bought was actually The Matrix, and it was around $30. And, Blu-rays have dropped in price, too. They've dropped in price. I think I got this for like $4 at Big Lots. You can pick them up for, close to nothing now. But, it's all about, opinion, what you like. If you want a hard drive full of movies, if you want, a bunch of movies on your console or whatever you want to do, that's fine. But, I don't think physical media is dying. There will always be a need for physical media. There will always be people like me that like having the physical copy, that like being able to put it on shelves and show people and things like that. I think that will always be a huge collector market. So thank you for watching this episode. Give a like to the video, subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit the little bell icon to make sure you get all the videos, and I will see you all later.